Hey everybody, Dan Rawitz here. Wednesday night? Yeah, Wednesday night about 10:20 Pacific time. So here's the trade. I mentioned gold, I think, yesterday on the call. I don't think I talked about it today. I think gold's making a pretty good bounce here. How high it goes, don't know. It probably will hit some resistance here about 115. But here's what I like. So let me clean this up for you because remember, we always like to look at clean charts. Let's get rid of every single thing. Uh, that can stay down there. Okay, so number one, we have a nice trend line, right? It's beautiful. This bottom here that was hit, which is, by the way, it's a perfect V bottom, which I love. This was a low of 18 or 19 months, maybe even 20 months. So we haven't been down here in a really, really long time. So that's good. Now, the next thing is, let me just make that go away. Clean, because you already know we have a positive trend, right? So the next thing we want to know is our 5 and 7 day. And what we have here, I think, in my opinion, very clearly red coming over blue. Would you guys agree? I mean, with that angle of attack, probably will hit tomorrow unless it were to sell off. And I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, get rid of that. Now, where are we at the Keltner channel? Because we're a tad bit early on the 5 crossing the 9 day. But the Keltner channel, so we came off the bottom of the channel. We now have really a 1, 2, 3 bar confirmation. And so it's a tiny bit late here, but that's okay because what I designed will make money all the way down to here, which is where I think is extreme support. And we still have a lot of room to run before we hit resistance. This is the top of the Keltner channel, all the way up here, 115.65, which is also coincidentally right about where I see the resistance. So I feel very confident we run up here, but I frankly don't care as long as we stay above here. Now let's look at the next. Well, there's no reason really looking at the long-term exponential. We've got the 50 and we've got the 100, and so clearly gold's in a downtrend. It's been in a downtrend most of the year. So this is not a trade I would want to get married to. It's not a trade I think is going to go to 120 or something, but it's a trade I think is going to go to the top of the Keltner channel. Hopefully you guys agree with that. Let's get rid of these. I don't know how I got those ugly looking colors. I don't like funny colors on my charts. Okay, so now let's look at MACD. The histogram I like. That's the shark. Woohoo! Fin out of the water. I swapped the RSI and the stochastic for the stochastic oscillator. One, because I didn't even think Schwab had it, and I like it, and they do. So this is very similar to all the rest. When blue crosses over red and gold, you got a good buy sign. So this buy sign came kind of early if you just looked at the oscillator. Oh, let me get rid of this, sorry. Okay, so if you look here where the oscillator turned positive down here, you can see that was our first green bar, and that was about, just before we crossed the Keltner line. So this was a really good early warning sign. It was down, very oversold, and then we crossed. But again, I think just a prudent trader wouldn't try to jump in that early. We want to wait for Sharky to come out, and then we want to wait for the 5 day to cross the 9 day. It's all here. It's all laid out for us perfectly. Okay, so here's what the trade looks like. We're going to sell the October contract. What I did an inverted put. So a put doesn't always mean you want it to go down. If you invert it, you get a credit. And I want to do a credit trade, and also I want to just be easy on everybody's margin accounts. So we're going to sell to open the October 19th, 112 put. We're going to shoot for a credit of around 121. Look at the bid and ask. I mean, this is what's nice about an ETF. And these really high volume, you tend to get so much more open interest. And by the way, this trade's much closer to the money. Look at this. So you're going to get filled in a minute, and the bid and ask is incredibly narrow. It's 1 penny. So that's fun. We can do a market order. Don't put it in tonight. Do not put it in tonight. If you want to do an order tonight, fill it in at 85 cents. I like the 85-cent level. You can do a limit order at 85 cents. So then we're going to buy to open the October 19th 108 put, and we're going to pay 35 cents for that. Net trade credit of 85 cents. And this trade has a max gain of $85. Go figure. It's because we're getting a credit here. It shows a max loss of 315. And by the way, just so you know where that comes from, because I don't think I've talked about this, max loss is always calculated by the difference in the strike prices plus or minus any credits. So in this case, we got $4 strike price difference, but we're getting an 85-cent credit. So $4 minus 85 is 315. That's your max loss. Don't worry about that because, look, watch here. She makes money, makes money, makes money, makes money. I mean, you can go all the way down to 111. Clearly, if I think this thing's going up and it drops $2, we're out. We're just out. This thing should not go down. If it turns, it's going to go back to the Keltner channel, and we're going to exit. And that might happen. But hopefully it wouldn't happen until we're further down this trade, because you can see here, like at a 111 or so, you could lose. Well, that's too soon. But this is another good thing to play with. If you go, okay, what would happen on August 31st if we slid down to here? So watch this, and you'll see as you get closer to expiration, you don't get as much volatility in the price as you drop down. So now at a 111, you might lose $60. That's not too painful. That's if it happened 831. If you want to look at what would happen, let's say 912, which we will not be in this trade that long. Now watch again this. As we get closer, now we've only lost $55. So again, time is our friend in these things. If the stock does drop, if the stock stays up here, we'll do fine. Hopefully we'll only be in this trade a few weeks. Okay, sorry, longer video. I do that when I'm tired. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll put this out as an alert.